as usual, I'm just kind of starting at the feet, getting that body connection.
Okay.
How would you feel about sharing a little bit about your story?
My body's breaking down.
Body's breaking down.
Yeah.
How's it feel today?
Well, I told you I had a party last night, right?
That's right.
It's actually more relaxed than normal.
More relaxed than normal.
Yeah.
How are you feeling side to side lately? So we've been working on your body for over a month now, a couple of months really.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the symmetry feeling? Any change there?
What can I say? Like, I'm back here.
Uh-huh. You're back here.
Yeah,
It's working.
it's working.
It's working.
Yes.
Slow and steady. Any kind of change with the body often is very slow, huh?
I guess so.
I'm just wanting to go around and kind of say hello to all the different corners. So we usually work face up because it doesn't feel comfortable for you to be face down, right?
Oh, yes. I've never been face down in like 10 years.
Mm-hmm. So we're just kind of adapting everything. To keep you as comfortable as possible through the whole treatment.
You always do.
But it's been about 7 years, right?
Oh, 9.
9 years.
9.
Since,
Yeah.
okay, 9 years since the stroke. And it's really the left side of the body that's affected.
Yes.
So I usually start on your right side. And that's because I want to give your nervous system a chance to feel your baseline and what the right side of your body
Okay.
is doing first, so that then when we add the stimulation into the left side, that kind of expectation is already in your brain and you have the memory of what we just did, so that that can help the sensory input coming from the left side
Okay.
get be more meaningful for your central nervous system. And so we're just kind of encouraging that symmetry of sensation, even when we don't have all of the symmetry of the motor action, so that you can feel more side to side and get some of the subtle control back. And just get the improve the circulation, and the side that's harder to operate, we want to make sure that the blood flow still gets moved around, and the side of your body that you're really depending on for what you do on the day-to-day has the muscles pushing the blood back and forth around it. So, so part of why we really get through the left side also is to just encourage the blood circulation and the fluid circulation, all the lymph, to still move in a healthy way so that the cells can be supported with as much health as possible.
Actually, when I went to physical therapy, that's what they did too. They put a mirror and made me watch my right side, and so the side would follow. Like, I don't know.
I'm glad to hear that you had some of the mirror therapy already. I didn't know that.
A long time ago, when it first happened.
When it first happened? Yeah. That can make a really big difference, because the way that the brain is processing information. What did you notice when you had the mirror therapy? Do you think it changed how much control you had afterward?
At that time, I said no, but now I know it did.
it might have helped keep things more stable.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that can be really key. Anything where you have big changes in how the body's operating one side versus the other, that mirror therapy can help the brain reestablish a sense of where you are in space.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's really important. So when we're working the right side, partly we're just kind of setting the expectation for the brain, but I also am always checking out and wanting to investigate the muscles that are having to really stabilize you, where since you're not able to do the central movement in that symmetrical way, then the muscles on this side are sometimes having to work harder in some places, and in other places they're not getting to bear your weight the same. And so just going through and manually helping those muscle fibers reorganize. We're getting some nice results. Yeah. So I'm going to open up this outside edge of the calf where it's telling me that you're really having to use this muscle and the fibers on that outside edge of the muscle especially to maneuver through those daily activities. So we want to give it lots of extra love.
Mm. Yeah, poor thing, my right side is always working hard.
It's working so hard. It takes good care of you. It's got a big job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we just take this time. Now you're on a every couple of weeks rhythm. Right at first, we got to do every week for a while to kind of help reestablish care.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always exciting for me to see the changes that are happening. We talked last week about how your skin texture has also gotten healthier, and some of those places where your skin was healing kind of slow, that it's picking back up, but we're seeing some good changes in those areas.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm. So right now I'm just wanting to find alignment. I'm sometimes finding some places where fluid is pooling a little bit instead of uptaking back into your lymphatic system. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a manual boost. How does that feel when I'm pushing the fluid up?
Very good.
Yeah. It should help take pressure off of the structures that are nearby and really just calls in more nutrients to help circulate through your system and replenish those cells. And then there's always the energy aspect too. You know, you can feel that. You've got good energy sensitivity, don't you? Were you always?
What's that?
Do you remember as a kid being kind of sensitive to energy?
I guess so.
Noticing, yeah. People didn't talk about it the same way, so when you don't have people around you saying, you know, helping you learn the words to talk about the energies moving through the body, it's harder to know how to pay attention to them. You had some ongoing pain through the neck and shoulders that you said was up pretty high some of the time. How has that been lately?
And so you good?
It's improved?
Yeah.
You're saying, I think, like a 7 out of 10
at one time.
When you first came in. What would you say it's been the last week or so?
Well, less than 5.
Less than 5?
Yeah. I mean, it's always sore a little.
Always sore a little, yeah. Is it worse in the night? Or in the morning?
In the morning, because I guess the way I sleep at night, I hardly move. Once I fall asleep, that's it, If I sleep this way, that's it. Go all night long like that.
Right. Yeah. So if you get in a position, then it's can really compound the positional issues. So now I want to come into the other side, and I'm going to do pretty similar work here.
Okay.
So I'm just bringing it back into alignment. And I'm never forcing it past what the joints seem to want to do, but since we know that some of the muscles are not responding as quickly, I do give them a little bit of time to adapt, to see if they'll come a little bit farther, closer to the healthy line that'll be more comfortable for you as you move. So on this side, the way that the muscles engage is not able to connect as directly to your conscious control, and so it can get a little bit erratic, which can make problems for you as you're moving. And I remember you saying that you had very low sensation from the left leg, especially for a long time, but that it was shifting when we first started working, that you were picking up more sensation. How's it feeling now?
Well, I mean, how can I explain?
Yeah.
It's not 100% yet, but I mean, it's hard to explain, but it's trying to get better, but
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know.
Comparing to the other side, do you feel like it's like the sensation is more similar than it used to be?
It's getting there.
Getting more similar. Yeah. And is that just when you're on the table, or is that when you're going around your day-to-day at home?
That's a great question. I think more when I'm on the table. Because, I don't really think about it all the time.
Right. That we're taking the time to pay attention into the body when you're on the table. Yeah.
Like right now, when you're working on me, it feels normal.
It feels more normal when I'm actively touching it. I wonder what it would be like if we paid a little more attention during the week and maybe picked out a certain activity, maybe when you're cooking or something that you're doing pretty often, of just to have a mental note to check in how your leg is feeling. Because that's the most normal thing in the world, that after the information got really hard for you to use, that your brain stopped looking for that information for a time, right? So giving it something else that's a clue in your daily life to help remember to just sometimes notice that information again. Is there something that comes to mind where you would be able to tell?
I have to think.
Maybe just something really simple.
Yeah.
Something really simple, like when you're getting up from the couch or a chair, to just remember to notice. Just for me, so you can tell me later.
Okay. It's sending like the electricity
Electricity into the toes?
coming up.
Coming up from the toes. Yeah. So we're getting that nerve to activate and communicate a little more.
Feels good.
Good. Yeah. A little jolt there, huh? Slow it down. Anytime the sensation is really intense, it can seem like it's, often we feel like it's pain right at first, but it's often just too loud for the sensory system, if that makes sense. Like it's too much information all at once. And so, if something's really hurting, we don't want to do that at all. But often, doing the same thing, just slower, will help it be more tolerable.
I mean, there's no pain to it. It just feels good. There's activity for me.
Right. It can be sudden. That's startling.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. When you suddenly get a sensation that you didn't know that part of the body was loaded with information.
After 9 years, it feels good.
Good. Totally different tension pattern on this leg versus the other leg. But it's pretty strong. I don't know if you know that. Like the muscles on this leg are actually quite strong. But although they're not responding to move as smoothly as would probably be easier on you, they're not giving up. They're still definitely doing everything they can to hold a healthy shape for you.
Wow.
Yeah. Another little jolt. Oh, it opened right up though. That was a good release.
Oh yeah.
Your leg was like longer now. It was probably holding that for a long time.
Probably.
The muscle fibers are a lot like hairs. They're actually just about the same size as one hair, one muscle fiber.
Wow.
And they don't exactly get tangled up like hair because they're attached at the top and at the bottom. But they're almost more like, if you could imagine, a cross between hair and rubber bands. And so the rubber bands can get kind of uneven, where like if you imagine if you're pulling a rubber band all the way out and it was like stretching almost to the breaking point, that it doesn't have as much strength as when it's relaxed already. And so partly when we're bringing this sensation into it, it's giving your nerves a chance to give the muscles clearer instructions, where the muscles can act more organized. But we're also manually changing the muscles, where I'm just kind of moving the fibers around so that they can pop back into the position that is more even and spread out and spaced well.
I see.
Yeah.